here, and we're kind of in the same place. We're definitely at the same place we've been at for the last 3 to 4 weeks. We're right here in our offices. I almost wish we could spin this around, right? Because right behind us, we have what? A bunch of chairs.
Yeah. Seating for 50. I would turn it around, but I would never get the camera back like it's supposed to be.
We're actually excited to be here with you guys tonight. But we're literally sitting in a room that's going to be packed full of callers. Literally, a number of you all are coming here next Wednesday, right? February 12th. And we're going to be dialing. I mean, it is a working workshop. We're going to talk about it here in a minute, but it's going to be right here in our office, in our conference room. And we're going to spend a whole day with a few select number of you all dialing for sellers. We're going to teach you the verbiage that we've used here to get inside literally tens of thousands of sellers to do thousands and thousands of deals. Then we're going to generate, actually, by the time you get here, we're going to have leads ready for you to go to call on sellers. And then we're going to go teach, and then for a couple of hours make calls. So anyway, we'll go over that in a couple of minutes, but that's where we are. We're excited to be here. It's another Tuesday night of live, right?
Yes, and let me know where you are every week. I'd just like to know where everybody is across the country. Go ahead and put it in the chat box, and we'll go ahead and call you out. And we've got Brad from Marietta. Welcome on. We've got Alan, Andy, Antonio, Burnett, Carl, Cecilia, Crystal, Donna, Ika, Jean, Hazel, James, Jeanette, Jesse, Justin, Laura, Lenora, Marty, Nasir, Randolph, Rob, Scott. I never get to the bottom. Valori and Veronica. Oh, Ika's from Disneyland. That's awesome.
Disneyland. Yeah, I think you had the winning quarterback from the Super Bowl team, Chiefs, there yesterday. So that was probably a very, very busy day.
Oh, remember, like used to at the Super Bowl at the end, they were like, "Oh, what are you going to do now?"
Well, they're still doing it.
They are. I didn't notice that.
That's right. That's why he went to literally the very next day. He went to Disneyland, just like the commercial said. So, but that's cool. I mean, you got to love that. Somebody, working hard, achieving the ultimate pinnacle in their industry, and being rewarded for it. And that's why we do these Tuesday night webinars. It's us sharing with you what we've done to get to where we are, sharing with you how we do real estate deals and all that. And so we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. People are dialing in from all over the nation. And this is what I always say. This is like the one staple that Julie and I, real estate's an ebb and flow business. It changes, things change, marketing changes, even what we do internally changes with how we communicate with you all. But this is the one thing that we made a commitment to do a long, long time ago. And to this day, we still do these. And the thing that's exciting for me, because one of the things I do is that when we start new partners across the nation, and we'll talk to you guys about that in a minute, when we start new partners across the nation, I'm kind of always try to spend a couple minutes with them when they start with us. And the one thing to this day I hear over and over is that they were following us through social media, through these Tuesday night webinars, whether in a live environment or in a recorded environment. So we know that these things, that you guys find value in them. We know that you guys are dialing into these, and that's why we have no intention of slowing down, do we?
No, absolutely not. I enjoy getting on here on Tuesday night, talking with everyone, commiserating, like James from San Jose, California, and Antonio from Anderson, South Carolina. We're actually in North Georgia, about an hour north of Atlanta is where we are right now. Actually, this is where we live. This is where I grew up. I'd like to say I moved real far in life, but I've actually only ever lived in about 3 counties right here. So, and I'm able to do business here. And that's what's funny, as I'm thinking about people from all over, is everyone in investing thinks I've got to be in the largest cities in America to be an investor. I actually think, being in your smaller towns gives you a competitive advantage. So, one thing about investing is it's really no matter where you are in the United States, there's an opportunity for you to make money, with real estate investing. So at least I know I've always got a career doing this, no matter where I decide to move.
No question. An interesting thing enough, we are definitely in a second, maybe people would say a third tier market in terms of size and population and distance to the, we're about an hour or so away from a major city from here, Atlanta. But like literally where we operate out of, our building is right next to another huge real estate operation next to us. So you got these huge 10,000 square foot buildings right next to each other, supporting, really these second tier markets. So that's Julie's exactly right. Never, I feel like I'm falling. I think I am falling. Never second guess the market you're in. It's all about whether or not you're doing it the right way, being consistent about it, and things like that. So, well, listen, why don't we go ahead and get rolling? And we like to always kick these things off by just sharing with you who we feel very strongly you are. As long as we've been doing this, I've learned that there's really two types of people that listen to us on Tuesday nights, whether in a live environment or recorded environment. Some of y'all are our partners. And when I say partners, you're literally our partners. We are, for those of you that may not be very familiar with us, we are a real estate investment company. We've been doing deals. Gosh, I've been at it for 20 some years, thousands and thousands of deals, different techniques, different strategies, different geographies, different ways of doing things. I mean, different markets in terms of up markets, in terms of down markets. When the market crashed, 12, 13 years ago, I successfully crashed with it. So I like to say I've been through some pretty high highs, some pretty low lows. And as an investment company, the one thing that we always try to do is we always try to figure out how do we ourselves do more real estate deals. And for many years, we did deals in a very traditional way in terms of kind of like see deal, do deal, right? And see deal did what any other investment company does. We did our own marketing. We did our own direct mail. We had our own call center. We had our own negotiators, and that's how we found our deals. Then we did deals, whatever that meant, whether it could be maybe wholesale it, maybe buy it and fix it, maybe buy it, prehab it a little bit, maybe sell it to an end user, maybe sell it to an investor and all this. And what we realized is that we wanted to do more deals. We had a history behind us. We had great amount of capital to be able to do whatever we wanted to do with. We even had offices scattered in different parts of the United States, but just like any company that's doing fairly well, which we were, we wanted to see how we can do even better. And so one day we came up with this idea. Why don't we start partnering and doing deals with people across the United States? That way we're not just as strong as our own marketing, our own negotiators, our own way of doing it. We could like literally build a whole community of individuals who want to be in this business, and we could partner with them. Now, to do that, we have to figure out how do we attract these people? Why would everyday people or people who already are in a business, why would they want to partner with us? So we try to come up along the way with the biggest value proposition that we could possibly come up with. Somewhere that if someone's out there thinking, I want to be in real estate, but I got to figure out kind of my quickest path to success, somebody would look at this value proposition we would offer and say, this is a no-brainer. And so after, again, tinkering, starting, stopping, figuring it out, we came up with what we felt like would be the ultimate value proposition for any individual that wants to do real estate deals. And the model took off like hotcakes. So that goes back to who's listening to us tonight. Some of you guys are already our partners. Some of you we've done deals with. Somebody we're doing deals with currently. Some of you all were just getting started. And this is just another way for you to interact with us. And we're so glad you're here tonight. I always say that whenever our partners are in our environment, it's a way for you to recommit, charge, reset, and just take it to the next level. And so you're probably like me when I was 20 years ago when I got started. Any kind of crumble I can get in front of, or anything I can grab onto from my coaches back then and my mentors, I was all about that. And so we get it. We get it. This is just another way for us to interact. Some of y'all aren't yet our partners, but you're checking us out. Simple as that. You're here because you want to. Is this model for real? Is somebody really willing to to coach me and mentor me, generate leads for me? Is somebody really willing to provide the capital to do the deals? Is somebody really willing to help with construction? And the answer to all of that is yes, that is us. That is exactly what we do with our partners across the United States. And so we know some of you guys are, you kind of want to kind of feel us out to a certain degree. Are these real people doing real deals, and how serious
We're
are
actually
they?
closing 3 tomorrow with partners.
That's about as real as it gets,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's about as real as it gets. We're closing a number of deals tomorrow. I've already wired my wires out. The ready money is there. It's just ready for some documents to be signed by the local people.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that are not yet our partners, our mission with you all is very simple. We want you to be our partners. We win because it's another way for us to do more deals. We feel you win because it's another way for you to do real estate. But not just from a standpoint of another way, we feel like it's the ultimate way, because we literally will coach and mentor you. We literally will generate leads for you. We really will provide you capital to buy the deals and to fix them. We really will help with the construction. We really will help with the back end sales of the property. And then when the profits are counted up, we just take 50% for us and 50% to you. So anytime tonight or after the webinar, to learn about our partnering program, all you have to do is go to www.partnerdriven.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's somewhere up on your screen. You could check us out there, see our other partners, see what the program is all about. And that is awesome. The other housekeeping thing I want to handle is literally what we talked about a couple minutes when we started here. Right in this room that we're sitting in, not a good idea to spin this thing.
I mean, I could try.
Yeah, but then you're right. We're probably going to end up showing that. But right here, next Wednesday, February 12th, where it's very limited seating here because there's just very limited space here. But we're going to have what we call a working workshop. And that is, and the purpose of this next workshop is very simple, is to teach you, to show you, to do with you what we feel like is the key component of doing real estate deals. And that is how to get in the door and how to get sellers raising their hand and saying, hey, I want to sell my property. So that's what we're going to do next Wednesday, February 12th, right here in our office. It starts at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to spend the first couple hours, and Julie and I are going to teach. Okay, we're going to literally teach you what we have done ourselves for 20 some years to get in the door of literally tens and tens of thousands of sellers. The verbiage we use, kind of the techniques we use, we're going to give them the scripts we use. We're going to go to town, and we're going to show you literally. I know it sounds goofy, but literally the secrets, the behind the scenes stuff, how to make seller appointments. Literally, how to get sellers to say yes. I want to see you. I want to do a deal with you. Okay.
And the other cool thing too is that we're going to be here at our office.
Yep.
So it's not like we're going to some other place. You're going to be here where we work every day, where we do deals every day. And the goal, for Wednesday, for me, is for you to walk away with an appointment. And I'm serious about that. Don't sign up if you're not ready to make a commitment that day, because you're going to get put on the spot. And we're here to get deals done. The other thing that we're going to do is, you're probably thinking, well, who in the world am I going to call? Don't worry about that either, because I want you to just put one foot in front of the other. Put yourself out there on the line, because we're going to provide you leads to call. So we're going to give you the leads. We're going to skip trace those to find the owners so that we can call them on that day. And I'm going to give you access to our revolutionary app, Deal-Driven, and you'll have an account set up right when you get here. If you're already a partner, come on. It is going to be awesome for you too. But I tell you, like for me, I really think this is the most important thing in this business, because if you can't get deals, what else matters, right? Nothing. So that's why we want you to come, and we want you to learn from us on how to do that, because a lot of you suffer from paralysis of analysis. There's so much information out there. There's so much. But listen, when you're putting a point in life, when it's like, and you're on the spot, you have to evolve. You have to make decisions that are going to make you successful. Unlike, maybe sitting behind the screen somewhere. So I encourage you to go ahead and register. I know Rafa's already put up the link, and I'm not even kidding. Like, it's almost sold out. I think we don't really have that many seats available. We're only going to have so many people in this room. So you need to act now and go ahead and click that button. If you got to take off work, so be it. It's worth taking off of work one day so that you can and do something with your life that you want to do. You're never going to remember the one day you took off of work, but you will remember the day you got started in this business and your first deal, guaranteed. So click that button. We'll see you next Wednesday.
No question. So a couple things. Number one, leads. The leads will be generated for you specifically in your area. So whether you're here local to us, we'll have local leads for you to call on, or maybe some of your guys are coming from other cities, other towns, other states. We'll have the leads ready for you to be called on exactly where you live. And this is open both to people that already are partners and those that are not yet our partners. This is a great way for you to get a feel of what it is to really work with us. Like Julie said, not only will she and I be here, but majority, if not all of our staff will be here. So you'll get a feel of who you're going to be partnering with. And we do it like we do in all our other events. Everybody pitches in a couple bucks, $149 to spend a whole day with us. We use it to pick up expenses, to skip trace those leads for you, to buy you some lunch when you get here. But anyway, it's going to be phenomenal. All right. So topic at hand, guys. A lot of times when we do these, we try to present the positive side of real estate, because let's face it, nobody gets in this real estate business for like the downside of it, right? Nobody says, well, gosh, I got to be in real estate so I could possibly lose some money, or I want to be in real estate so I can go out there and have like 60 sellers in a row tell me they don't want to sell their property. Nobody gets into real estate to get themselves in some kind of a contractual obligation that they cannot commit to. Nobody gets into real estate for the downside associated with real estate. And again, a lot of times when we're here on Tuesday nights, we talk about all the upside of the real estate, because that's why we get into it, right? We do get into it for the money side. We do get into it for the lifestyle side. We love showcasing our partners. For those of you that follow us on social media, I've really been passionate in the last number of weeks to really, really showcase our partners across the United States, the relationships. Those are all the cool things. But guys, let me just be as clear as it can be. There is an absolute, very real downside in this business. And tonight we want to talk to you about it. We want to talk to you about the things that can go wrong. And let me tell you something, and Julie and I will tell you, things that can go wrong, they go wrong, don't they?
Yeah.
We could probably sit here and spend hours and hours, if not days, of telling you all the things that can go wrong in real estate. So today we thought it'd be a good time to kind of get real with you about some of these downside things, right? And remember, there's two reasons we want to talk to you about it. Number one, you got to know the risk is associated with doing what you're doing, right? It's kind of like, if you get yourself a Lamborghini, it would be insane for the salesperson not to tell you that you don't drive this Lamborghini the way you drive your Chevette that you drove in here with, right? There's an absolute downside to having a vehicle like a Lamborghini, right? If you go skydiving, it would be insane for your instructor that teaches you how to skydive not to tell you what to do if something goes wrong, right? So in anything we do in life, you cannot just look at it from a perspective, here's all the good things that can happen, especially on the business side. You have to also look at all the bad things that can happen, okay? And then you have to start making decisions, right? Let's face it, I'm not the guy that's going to go I'm not the guy that's going to jump out of a plane, because to me, that risk is not worth the reward, right? It's just not worth it. I'm not the guy that's going to scale Mount Everest, right? There's some people that get a high of that. To me, that risk, it ain't worth it, right? So we thought, we try to be as real as we can with you. Why not tell you all the downside of this business? Why not share with you some of the stories not only gone through, but still go through on a daily basis. And so you could make an honest decision of what the risks are as opposed to what the rewards are at this business. And is this the right move for you? The other reason we want to share this with you is that we feel like, our model fits pretty good with the risk side of this business. We showcase so many of the positive sides of our model, but you'll see our model, it's if you're looking at the downside of this business, and if it gets a little bit scary, as you start looking at analyzing our model, it becomes even more and more lucrative. Okay. So that's what I want to do. I was telling Julie before we got started, let's just get real tonight in terms of things that could go wrong. Let me just tell you something that just happened on one of our last deals. And I actually did a video on this. This is, I think, what prompted this conversation. I guess I can't pull up videos here. But for those of you that follow me on social media, you'll relate to the story I'm about ready to tell you, because I told this story in one of my recent posts. For those of you that don't, let me just tell you what happened, like literally just a couple days ago here, right? Mm-hmm. And this is the deal we're doing in Oregon, I believe, right, Brian? This is the deal we were doing in Oregon. We bought the property a little while ago. And when we bought it, we did everything we're supposed to do. See, that's the other thing about this business. You could sometimes do everything right, and it could go wrong, right? I mean, it's like, how many things in life can you do like totally right and still have a bad outcome? Well, make no mistake about it. Real estate is one of those things where you could literally do everything right, and the back end and the end of it will be wrong. And so we bought a property out in Oregon. We were doing a couple deals there. And what happened is actually our local partner decided to take one of those down himself. They bought it themselves, right? And we were not stuck with, we were totally fine with doing the other deal, right? And we went through all the checklists up front of what needs to be done to evaluate a deal. Meaning, we had other real estate agents come walk the property and give us their feedback. Meaning, we had an independent third-party inspector that we paid money to walk through that property and inspect the property. We had a third-party contractor walk through that property to see if there's anything that missed on the construction side. Okay, we studied the market around it, did a market analysis from our end to make sure that all this information we were getting was not, somehow manipulated. So everything, the realtors agreed, the inspectors agreed, the construction people agreed, the market analysis, everything confirmed that we were right in the ballpark or where we needed to be to do this deal. I don't know if you remember the deal. What we bought it for 170? Yeah. 170? No, it was 160 actually. I just remembered. Yeah. Okay. So we bought it for around 160, 165 is what we bought it for. And the way the deal was going to work is that we initially we're going to do, correct me if I'm wrong, we were not going to fix the property.
We were just going to do a cleanup.
We were going to just do initial kind of like just a little light rehab or cleanup, not even a rehab, a light cleanup of the property, and then we're going to put it back in the market. Remember, we had people on the back end, our real estate agents were like, these are the experts. These are like people that are selling right in that neighborhood, right? Walk through that property and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the sales price we started out with, which was maybe a little bit on the aggressive side, but not too aggressive, was about 240,
249,
250, 249, 250. So we bought it for 165, let's say, spent just a couple $1,000 cleaning it up and put it in the market for $250,000. Now think about that. That's like not only a huge profit, but that's like a huge margin of error too, right? I mean, that's about a $70,000 profit margin on a $160,000 deal, right? That's not like a $70,000 profit margin on a $2 million deal, which could be gone like this. But this is on a $160,000 deal, $70,000 profit margin. And remember, everything checked out about this deal on the front end, okay? We even had the local partner do some things in terms of checking it out. I mean, I cannot overemphasize how important those front-end checklist is, okay? And I cannot overemphasize how diligent we are as an investment company to make sure that both the local partner executed the right way, and we as a team executed the right. Okay. So this all started, I mean, we bought it, I don't know, remember September, October? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it was about, mid-September.
Okay, so we bought it last year. It's in February now. We bought it last year of September, okay? We put it in the market for $249. And hey, good news. We just closed the property last week. Great news, right? Fantastic. $70,000 profit margin. Little issue though. We did not sell it for $249,000.
No, it was crickets.
Yeah.
When it went on the market, it was crickets.
Yeah, literally. And to the point where we had to start dropping the price. And when we finally sold it, right? We sold it finally. And we did our accounting on the deal, we had lost $10,000 on the deal. Okay. Now think about it. How can someone at our level, thousands of deals behind us, 20 years, a team of us, a local representative, third-party validation, market analysis. I mean, you could not pile enough good stuff on top of this huge, better than normal profit margin in deals this size. How can this happen? Well, that's how real estate works. As much as we like to say that we're these, well, one thing we learn never to say is we'll never say we're bulletproof. But we do showcase our experience, because experience matters in this business. But the reality of the business, reality of real estate, is there are still some unknown things. It's just how this business works. We could not predict the future. What we could do is we could provide all the right numbers up front. What we could not ultimately predict is how the market itself would react to this deal, to this property. Okay. It's like we did not know what we did not know. I mean, can you imagine saying that after doing something for 20 years? Like, that's something you never want your brain surgeon to say, right? Hey, there's a lot of things I still don't know, right? Well, guess what? There's a lot of things in real estate. And this is after, the tremendous history that we have. Now, the good thing is we had the one thing that everyone needs if they want to sustain their growth. And by the way, make no mistake about it. The earlier you are in this business and you are, the more mistakes you're going to make. Okay.
Well, because you learn from your mistakes, and I've already went through these things that cost all this money, and we just know not to do it again.
That's exactly right.
Still happens.
But you said the magical word. We had the one thing that you need in real estate to withstand. This is where people lose it in real estate. This is why, in the end, not a lot of people make a lot of money in this business, because you need something that really all the gurus pitch against. You need something that everybody tells you don't need. But in order to withstand your mistakes, you don't do it through knowledge. You don't do it through other things. You do it through money. That's it. That's the only thing. What kept me going 20 years ago when I lost, my first 6 deals, tremendous amount of money, but what kept me going 20 years ago was I had that money to lose. See, and in real estate, I could tell you from personal experience, to this day, you could sneeze the wrong way, right, and lose $10,000. But again, we had on this $10,000 loss, obviously we have the $10,000 to lose. So it's kind of like, well, that's just the cost of doing business, and you truck on, right? Where else can you screw up things in this business?
Okay, I'll talk about my major screw up. Like, don't even want to tell you guys. Okay, so did lose money on a deal for termites, believe it or not. Let me tell you guys, termites are a big issue. I had the inspections done. Not only the inspections from the licensed inspector, but inspections from a pest control company. The thing is this was a 2-story house. The inspection was done on the perimeter of the bottom floor. Okay. The rehab was supposed to cost $65,000. In the end, it was about $150.
It's a lot.
Yeah. What had happened is actually the entire top floor, it was ate up with termites. Now, a lot of people probably could have covered that up. And you're looking at me like, Julie, why don't you just cover it up? I literally could not sell a $350,000 house to a family with their second floor ate up with termites. Could you? I mean, that's just not something that we could do. And let me tell you who ate every bit of that. Partner driven. Peter did. Because I mean, mistakes do happen. And we're going through all these mistakes. It almost hurts me to tell you because I'm a little bit prideful about it. But at the same time, you know, we're constantly talking to you about making money on this deal, which we obviously make more money on deals than we lose. But at the same time, guys, I mean, some things you just cannot foresee. Okay. Maybe I could have did a better job on that inspection. I flew down there myself. Took my husband with me, who's a contractor. My partner was a contractor. And we had multiple inspections, multiple rehab bids. This was literally something that was not seen until the flooring on the top floor was ripped out. I mean, it was like whenever all of the inspectors and everything, everybody saw it, they were all just like, well, you couldn't see that until you ripped the floor up. Well, I'm like, well, that's good and fine, but it's our money that's paying for it. So, you know, but the big thing is that wasn't a $10,000 loss. It's like an 80. He says 100.
It was over 100. I'm telling you.
Was it?
And when everything's said and done, I know you're trying to soften it. I lost 100,000 on that deal.
Did you? Oh, yeah. My God. So I say 80 because I was in charge of that deal and I didn't want to lose that big. But the point is, guys, is that if you're going to be in this business, obviously, you've got to know that there are risks involved, okay? The thing that Partner Driven has done, besides not only we want to teach you how to be a legitimate real estate investor, you know, one that puts good products out on the market, just like this one. I mean, I never would have sold a house like that. A lot of people would have covered that up. We will provide good products. We want to provide, and that goes into our coaching program too. It's unlike anything else. Monday through Friday, every day, Monday through Friday, we do a live daily training call where we teach you different things about this business. You can also schedule one-on-one calls with myself or one of our coaches, okay? We want to make money with you. Those 3 deals we're closing tomorrow, we're going to make a killing on those, right? But it is what it is. But the thing and the reason why we feel when we put Partner Driven together, why we feel like it's so incredible, because for you are able to get out there and do deals without risking your own capital. Think about that. I bet you can't even get a family member to do that for you. I know that's a strong thing to say.
True. Totally true. You know, guys, I'll tell you, as you look at it and analyze the real estate business, the art of doing the deals, the whatever it is that you're doing with these deals, I could tell you every step of the way, something can go wrong. And I could tell you, as you analyze every deal, something does go wrong. I'll tell you about a deal that we're trying to close right now, actually.
This is not
with Corey.
Yeah.
This is not one of those 3 that we're doing tomorrow, but this is another deal we're involved with right now. I mean, this deal, we had it with our partner, right? We got it all the way to closing. All of a sudden, the day before closing, the deal just literally collapses upon itself because some things that, from what understanding, some things that the title company didn't like, the buyers didn't like. It just seemed like a bunch of shenanigans. Okay. Well, then we, a couple of days later, we were able to resurrect that deal, right? Now we're into our second closing that was supposed to take place a day or 2 ago. And again, a bunch of more shenanigans. Now all of a sudden the back end lender doesn't want to fund the deal. They want the closing to go one way, whereas we're the buyers, we dictate how the closing goes. I mean, so here again, what was started out as a fairly easy $20,000 profit, here it is at our second closing coming to an absolute roadblock. Guys, before you even get to where we're talking about where we're losing money on some of these deals, let me tell you something. Every step of the way, on marketing. So you know that when you're marketing in real estate, there's actually areas that you should be focused in on and there's some areas that you should be focusing away from. Geographic areas right there where you live. So think about this. You don't even know what those are. Let's say what I'm telling you right now is like, well, that makes sense, but that's kind of foreign to me. So here's what I am telling you. You could literally go out there in your marketplace, dump like $5,000, $20,000 into marketing, whatever it is. Maybe you do some direct mail, maybe you get some signage, maybe you do some Facebook posts, however it is you're marketing. But do you know that if you don't put that money into the right, forget the right kind of ads and the right kind of paraphernalia and the right kind of verbiage to use and the right way to get those leads, forget all that. You could literally focus your marketing in the wrong geographical area. And I will tell you statistically, cut your chances of finding deals by like 60 to 70%. Think about this. Step one, you got to find a deal. And if you don't know where to initiate your marketing in, you're down like almost 60 to 70% in terms of less chance of finding the deal than by simply moving the deal and redirecting that into a different area. And that area could literally be like 5 blocks down the road. I mean, that is how real estate works. Do you know, like when you're negotiating a deal, right? Do you know that if you don't understand how to correctly psychologically talk and deal with that seller, you could literally every deal, putting yourself in a position where you're making 10, 20 to 30% less than had you understood how to correctly deal with a seller. Now think about this. Who gets into real estate thinking psychologically, I got to know, understand how to negotiate? Nobody does that, right? Nobody gets in real estate thinking that it's some kind of a psychological business. And think about it, on every deal to give up 10, 20, 30% of the profit, guess what? Most deals only have like a 10, 20, or 30% profit margin in them. So from the very initial inception of that deal, you're cutting yourself down 10, 20, 30%. You could be putting yourself like literally in a no-win situation.
I mean, it could be like argued that even cold calling is psychological.
Yep.
Really, just as much as is negotiating a deal.
Absolutely.
You know, if you don't know how to just talk to people and lead them in the path that you want, you're not going to get past the first 8 seconds of the phone call.
There's no question about it. You know, and think about this. I don't care if you've never done a real estate deal or you're on your 20th real estate deal. One thing we all know about real estate is it comes with this thing that none of us love, all of us dread, and that is the famous contractors, right? I mean, God, I could tell you from personal experience, there is nothing that I have lost more money in any facet of this business than the contractor side, okay? And I could tell you as a whole as this industry, for those of us that do real estate deals and where there's some kind of rehab involved, and by the way, almost every real estate investment deal needs some kind of a rehab, you know, whether you do it or not is a secondary question, but almost every deal that we've ever bought needed some kind of work done to it. As a whole, more money is lost in that one single, you could just isolate that step, right? You could just isolate that step, and more money has been lost in that. Why? Because again, nobody thinks, well, God, I have this great contractor background, so let me be an investor. No, that's not like part of the things that you even think about. Everybody just thinks, well, that's just part of the real estate, and then when I get to that part, I'll just hire this great person who does great work.
To me, that's the hardest part.
It is the hardest part. It's where most money is made, because it's the part that almost none of us really understand to the level we need to.
And they don't understand how difficult their job is either, or appreciate what has to be done.
Because you never have that kind of experience to do it, right?
Mm-mm.
I mean, before I got in this business, guys, let me tell you something. Before I got in this business, and it's really to this day, I had a hard time changing light bulbs. So how can someone like me get in this business and now watch, hire for, supervise, pay out on, inspect a $30,000 rehab job? It can't be done, right? It's like the furthest thing from my mind when I got started, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, literally every facet, you know, contracts. Do you know that if you fill out a contract incorrectly, you could put yourself where you would jeopardize everything you have in this business? Literally. You could literally obligate yourself to like $100,000 transaction with some wrong kind of verbiage being put into that contract. And you could literally, like, this is literally, that's a contract is a legally binding instrument, right? So here it is, people sometimes just sign these contracts like there's no tomorrow, not understanding what they're signing, what they're obligating themselves into. Do they have kick-out clauses? Do they have protection clauses? Are you on the hook to buy it? Can you back out? Are you on the hook for, earnest money? Can you get it back? Who holds the earnest money? Can I hold my own earnest money? Should a seller hold it? No, seller should never hold earnest money.
Business days, regular days. I mean, you could just go on and on.
Million entities, right? How many of us think about entities we get in this business? Everybody says, well, I have to set up an entity, right? Like a S Corp, LLC. What do you set up? Should you set up a C Corp, S Corp, LLC, right? Should you be a single member? Should you have multiple members? Should you have partners? How should your resolutions be written? Hey, if you do a deal across state board, you have to get registered in that state for tax purposes, or you can get really, really whacked. We're doing a deal right now on about $10,000 profit because we were not registered in time, which we're actually going to get done before closing. On a $10,000 profit, we would have had $6,000 of it eaten up by taxes because our registration was not done correctly. Well, guess what? We understand how to do it. Our attorneys jumped on, and that's going to be $6,000 that's going to be kicked back to us once that registration.
And the main reason, it's not just like that we're splitting this $10,000, right? And yes, $5,000 is a lot of money, and we're going to appreciate that for our company. We appreciate our partner doing this deal with them. But y'all, that was like the difference of this partner making $1,500 or $5,000. To someone who's never done a deal before, I mean, every one of us here was on the phone.
Yep.
And we all pushed hard to get that deal just for the same reason he was just talking about. I mean, it's going to be like the difference in him moving forward in this business or not, I guarantee you.
I totally 100% totally agree. Guys, and so literally we could sit here and just, by the way, the couple deals we talked about, hey, how about the deal where one of our own partners ripped us off? How about the fact that it was done right down the road here? Do you remember that deal?
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. That was another
Let's not talk about that.
$20,000 hit I took. Guys, by the way, all these deals that we're talking about that went sideways, this is not like over a 20-year career that we have to like dig very deep into. This is like in the last like couple months, okay? These are the kind of deals.
About a year.
Okay, look, Julie's
sorry. Sorry.
Like softening.
I am so prideful. It's my fault.
Yeah, no, trust me. This is all very recent. And there's others, we had deals in Ohio that got sideways. We had deals in Texas that went sideways. Guys, I'm telling you, the one thing you 100% cannot insulate yourself, just like really I'd say in most other businesses, you cannot totally isolate yourself from the downside of this business. And the bad thing about real estate, but it's a reality, the downside of this business almost always can only be fixed with money. And that's the reality of the business, guys. And, you guys that are checking this whole industry out, you have to know this. Again, it's not what you probably dialed in for to hear the downside, but it is the reality of this business. So where does our partner model come in? Why did we want to talk to you about it? Because the one thing Julie and I don't like to do, and I don't think we do it, at all, is we don't like to leave people on a bad note. And so we do feel like we have a very legitimate solution for you guys. Our partner program, because almost every single thing we talked about here was a money financial situation, right? Not be able to negotiate it, losing profit margins there. Contractors screwing you, losing money there. Not selling, think you could sell it for this, but selling it for this, losing money there. So it's all one way or another. It's either going to cost you money, or if you have enough money, you could withstand it. So the great thing about it, we can go on and on and on about all the accolades, all the great things that come with our partner program. We could tell you that we're going to teach you and coach you and mentor you, but it would be silly to say we're the only ones that could do that. Other people could teach you this business, okay? We feel like we know how to do it. We feel like we do it at a much higher level than all those other people that are doing it, but we're not the only one that know real estate, okay? We get it. But here's the things we are going to do that I would challenge you to find somebody else is willing to do that for you. We're going to actually invest money, and we're going to help you generate leads right there where you live. The next thing we're going to do is then when we find the right deal, I'm going to provide 100% of the capital. That's right. It's on us, okay? We're going to provide 100% of the capital to buy it, carry it, fix it, and anything associated with that property, from earnest money to anything that goes inspections, everything. Bottom line is if you partner with us, you're not spending $1 out of pocket. What does that mean? Or risking your credit, by the way. Loan, it's literally our money. We go on the hook for it. We don't ask you to go on the hook for it. So no money out of pocket and no risk of credit. What does that mean? That means all this downside we talked about you today is eliminated. We don't eliminate the downside, but we eliminate the consequence of the downside for you. Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And so what does that mean? You do this risk-free. And when you're a partner of ours, you literally do it risk-free. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll go through some deals with us or a deal with us.
Learn a ton.
Learn a ton in valuable information, in valuable real-life experience. And the worst thing is the deal goes sideways and you're not on the hook for it. Wow, not bad, right? That's like the worst thing that'll happen. And I promise you, for every one of these deals that Julie and I talked about, there's thousands where we make plenty of money on.
Or we wouldn't be here.
Or we wouldn't be here. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. Next, here's the tricky part for you. When we buy this property, again, what makes almost always, the one thing almost every investment deal has in common is almost all of them need some kind of rehab, because that's how you appreciate, that's how you capture the upside. That's how you tapped into the lost equity, okay? And so in a construction side, I promise you, we couldn't teach you how to do it well enough. I mean, don't think you can just sign up for some seminar or, go to Home Depot and become a great contractor. So what we do now is we literally have our own construction team get involved. There's a deal we're working on in Jacksonville right now, where we're going over it today, right? We see there was, I don't know, a $40,000 rehab number, right, from a local GC. Guess what? We give it to our own team. They immediately notice problems with it. Okay, problems that like literally they just showed me like this would double this and this would double this and that would have made a good deal into a bad deal. And so now our construction outfit, that's what we do. We check the local guys out. If they're good, we just supervise them. If they're bad, like these turn out to be not exactly what we're looking for, our construction team now is on their way to Florida, and today is Tuesday. By Friday, we'll have a real legitimate bid that we be 100% confident in. So we step in and help you with the construction. Then we just simply put the product or the house, the property on the market. We sell it, split the profits. And guys, when you understand what I just explained to you, you literally get all the upside of this business. You get 50% of the profit, and you negate 100% of the downside. Now, think about it in your mind. If you're thinking, should I partner with these guys or not? Can you any way spin this business in any way that you have all the upside and no downside? You can't do it. You absolutely cannot do it. So we're looking for more partners wherever you are. We're doing this all over the United States with all kinds of partners, all kinds of individuals. I'm telling you, it is, on top of that, we have an absolute blast with our partners. Our partners, in essence, become our friends, become our, almost like family members. A couple of partners were just in town last week. They stayed at my lake house. I don't even think I met them every time at night somewhere. I didn't even go in there with them, So they literally, we treat them like family. They're ever in town, they jump into one of our places, they hang out, we have fun, and that's what it's all about. So for those of you that want to become a partner and see how you could qualify to become one of our partners, you just simply need to go to www.partnerdriven.com. You could meet a bunch of partners, read more about how the whole partnering program works. If you love it, and it works exactly the way I just described to you, if you love it, make sure you leave your information there, and a key member of our team will be in touch with you and explain a lot more what it means to be about one of our partners.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's all I have for this evening. This is not my favorite topic, guys. I'm like one of these that want to talk about all the positive, but I mean, everything we said is true. And, we want to do more deals with you. So if you're out there, looking to, learn, grow, and earn, then go to partnerdriven.com. And listen, if you're thinking about coming to next Wednesday to learn how to make calls, go ahead and click the button and come, because it's not going to be better than that. I promise you, it will be worth every minute of the time that you're here. So I hope to see you soon. You guys have an awesome evening. Thank you, Carl. We'll take care. Y'all have an awesome evening. It was good spending Tuesday night with you. See you next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye.